And finally, at number 1, a UK teen had a seizure while playing video games. He was playing online, though, and his friend in Texas, in the United States, who called an ambulance who showed up at his house and took him to the hospital. I mean, it was an actual serious thing. And he was saved by somebody who was 5,000 miles away and recognized that he wasn't responsive. I mean, it's basically the best case scenario for being alone in a room having a seizure. I mean, can you think of how many people might actually die in that kind of a situation? Because they were in their bedroom, had a seizure, and weren't attended to? It's a really touching story, honestly. Couple of quick bonus stories for you.
If that's not begging for like a fucking FBI in the, you know what, actually right now, I'm just gonna do it right now. Add FBI right here, bro. Add FBI right now, FBI. And you know what, add Twitter right now. I'm gonna add Twitter as well. I'm gonna add the Pope, for crying out loud. I don't fucking care, dude. There's all this shit needed. So I'm gonna add all this, and I'm gonna reply to that, and we're gonna see what I can, okay? There's also people who are replying. DM me, I can't. DM, I have millions! They're just generic.
In the world. They don't have to ask why. It's in what I told them. Huh? In what I told them. Queen Elizabeth. See, white ain't a color. Most of y'all ain't never met a white person. White person ain't never met a white person. White's not a color, it's an attitude. And if you ain't got trillions of dollars in the bank, you can't have the attitude. Queen Elizabeth made $360 million every 24 hours, just interest on her money. Every 24 hours. Plus, you don't even understand money. You take $1 million, every nigga I see won't be a millionaire. Take $1 million and change it into seconds. 1 million seconds is 13 days. Take $1 billion and change it into seconds, it's 32 years. Who want to be a millionaire but a fool? But if you don't know that.
And the shit we see on the internet way scarier, real life.
I use that for like judges and like DAs and shit like that. When you sentence a kid that got locked up with a gun, taking into consideration that fucking 100 people got murdered in this neighborhood in the last 100 days, he might be mentally sick, paranoid, post-traumatic stress, depressed, everything in one. So take that into consideration. This is Friday the 13th in these areas every night. When you hear about, I don't know if you be seeing my page, I post up every other day a little girl or a woman get shot in their head or get killed or a child get killed in Philly. And when I come around that type of shit, I got the resources to do it legally, but when I come around that shit, I'm bulletproofed up, them sticks you hearing about in raps, they legal. They're around when we in them environments, and I wouldn't have them if I didn't have to have them in those environments. I seen Jay was like, "What you got Bulletproof for?" I'm like, "Nah, nigga, you Jay-Z. You got twins. You got Beyonce. You live some. I still got to dance amongst."
The Wolves.
Yeah, the Wolves, because I ain't get that far away. And then I asked him, like, man, when was your last year when niggas was talking about they gonna stop? You know how, like, you're a rapper, I posted this. You could be trying to get away from the street, but you always got somebody from the hood that's like, we gonna take something from him. That nigga ain't real, he ain't built like that. Sometimes that was like a big test for me, probably over the last year, just dealing with people like that. Because these guys will almost pull you back into the mentality you was raised off. And even if they gotta sacrifice they self to make you lose, they would do that. And I had to be able to pay attention to that and notice that, like, niggas will sacrifice they self for you to lose, and I don't entertain that no more. I don't want you to be able to control my fate.
That's the crabs in the barrel theory, basically. Why do you think
we call it where we from, we call it nigga-itis. That's what we call it. That's what the OGs in jail was calling it, the guys, the real slaves that's locked down for shit they ain't doing, got life sentenced. One guy said, man, it's called nigga-itis because the COs was locking me in a little bit more. They thought I was gonna be walking around with my chest out. And I was just quiet. I'm in jail, I'm a millionaire.
A step further, 1986, Fortune magazine wrote a huge article, 50 biggest and most powerful mob bosses in the country. Out of that list of 50, some 33 years later, 49 of them are dead. I'm the only one that survived. So to say that I'm a fortunate, blessed guy is really an understatement. And, you know, I attribute that to God having a different plan and a purpose for my life, and me meeting this young girl, because if it wasn't for her, I'd either be dead or in prison for the rest of my life, without a doubt, like all my former friends and associates. You know, I have to say, during my time in that life, I was a committed mob guy, and I wanted to be the best possible mob guy I could be. I wanted to make my father proud, and plus I try to do my best when I'm doing something. But there were times in that life when I did things that I just did not feel good about, and I'm almost ashamed to say that I did them anyway. I saw people get killed for the wrong reasons. I saw people suffer for the wrong reasons. You know, unfortunately, you can't go back and change things. You can only hope that you can move forward and do better. The mob life should not be glorified. I always say it's an evil life. I'm not calling the guys evil, because I was one of them, and I don't judge people like that. But the life is evil because I don't know one family of any member of that life, including my own, that hasn't been totally devastated. So any lifestyle that does that to families is an evil lifestyle. You know, I just really want to encourage people that you can't come back from a bad situation. I mean, look, everybody predicted my death. When I walked out of prison, everybody, from law enforcement to everybody on the street. The important thing is you got to be held accountable. You got to surround yourself with the right people, because in this life, you are who you hang out with. And I have a wife that holds me accountable. I have children that hold me accountable. I have a church that holds me accountable.
Impulses. Every cell knows and talks to every other cell. They exchange 1,000 bits of information between them per second. Cells group together, forming a giant web of communication, which in turn forms matter. Cells get together, take on one form, deform, reform. Makes no difference, it's all the same. Humans consider themselves unique, so they've rooted their whole theory of existence on their uniqueness. One is their unit of measure, but it's not. All social systems we put into place are a mere sketch. 1 + 1 = 2. That's all we've learned. But 1 + 1 has never equaled 2. There are, in fact, no numbers and no letters. We've codified our existence to bring it down to human size, to make it comprehensible. We've created a scale so that we can forget its unfathomable scale.
But if humans are not the unit of measure, and the world isn't governed by mathematical laws, what governs all that?
Film a car speeding down a road. Speed up the image infinitely, and the car disappears. So what proof do we have of its existence? Time gives legitimacy to its existence. Time is the only true unit of measure. It gives proof to the existence of matter. Without time, we don't exist.
Time is unity.
Tell me about it.
Pregnant women manufacture CPH4 in the 6th week of pregnancy, in tiny quantities. For a baby, it packs the power of an atomic bomb. It's what gives the fetus the necessary energy to form all the bones in its body. I'd heard that they tried to make a synthetic version of it. Didn't realize that they'd succeeded. If it really is CPH4, in this quantity, I'm amazed you're still alive.
Not for long.